We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the OG room. That's why you may notice Kadon and I have swapped sides.
Absolutely.
I'm Cooper Kelsey.
And I'm Caden Van Bagen.
Welcome back to Beyond Game Time.
So we have entered the full off-season mode. We're running out of ideas what to do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the 2026-2027 college football season. We're going to give you around 3 to 5 teams who we think is on the trend up, who's on the trend down, and who we think is going to stay the same. 3 to 5 teams, and then we'll get you on out of here. I'm going to start with my first team who's on the trend, and it's going to be the Michigan Wolverines. They just got Kyle Whittingham from Utah. He's a phenomenal head coach. Love what he did at Utah, right? They have one of the best defenses at Utah. We know what Kyle Whittingham did. He was able to be good with Devin Dampier as a quarterback, and it hopefully will transcend over to Bryce Underwood. They need to build their offense around Bryce Underwood. Last year, they did not have a quarterback coach with that freshman Bryce Underwood. Right. You can't expect a freshman to succeed with no quarterback coach. So they're going to have a new offense that's designed to fit in with more spread concepts, and they got strong talent coming in. 5-star Savion Hitter, top running back in the class. They got some transfers. Tight end / receiver J.J. Buchanan adds explosiveness. They got Nick Marsh. Mm-hmm. Andrew Marsh. His name is slipping from me. I'm pretty sure it's Andrew Marsh. Nick Marsh went to Indiana. Pretty sure it's Andrew Marsh.
Yeah.
And Jordan Marshall, the running back.
Jordan Marshall is
phenomenal, right? They know how to, and Michigan's known for their run game. So if they can get Bryce Underwood in the pass game and that read option game, they'll be completely set. Top 10 to 15 recruiting class once again. They have a really strong portal, especially on the defensive side, and we know the talent level is not an issue. We know that they can just bring these players. And Kyle Whittingham is a veteran coach. He's a seasoned veteran, knows what he's doing. So I think they'll be really good, especially if he can develop Bryce Underwood. Yeah.
Michigan's number 3 on my Big Ten risers.
I didn't have any specific order. I'm just naming people off.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Michigan was 3rd on my list as far as the Big Ten goes. Mm-hmm. They finished 9-4 last year. It's not like they did awful, but they had some off-season and off-the-field struggles. Sharon Moore case, all that. They finished 4th in Big Ten. Their 3 biggest challenges this year, they have to face the top 3 teams in the Big Ten again, Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State, of course. But they also have an non-conference test against Oklahoma.
Which last season was a little bit of a test for them.
It was a test for them. It was in Norman, though, where this year Oklahoma's coming to your house, and they'll be hosted at the Big House. Kyle Whittingham also is the reason that I have them 3rd on my list. Kyle Whittingham has turned around that Utah program, and I think it's going to translate very well because it's a very similar style of play. Utah has that big trenches. Michigan, has big lines, and it's going to translate very well. The run game is going to explode. I think if it wasn't good already, it's going to be even better this year.
Yeah. All right, who's your you talked about Michigan, but who's your other on the trend up?
This is probably my number 1 overall team. It's going to trend up, and that is going to be. Sorry, guys, I didn't have these. I'm going to say Kansas State.
Okay.
They went 6-6 last year. Actually, scratch that. Oklahoma State. I want to preface this because of the conference that they're playing in. They got a very nice conference schedule draw. They went 1-11 last year, but they brought in Drew Mestemaker from North Texas, who led the country in passing yards. They have a new offense, a completely scrapped offense.
Yeah. And
they have Houston, Arizona State, and Texas Tech as far as their 3 biggest challenges in the Big 12. Those are all going to be 3 good teams.
Yeah.
Houston specifically, I have them also as a riser in the Big 12, possibly getting to that Big 12 championship. Their out-of-conference game, however, is Oregon.
Yeah, it is in Stillwater, but still, which is Oklahoma State. But, yeah, Oregon's going to be a big test.
It's going to be a big test, and I'm not saying they're going to win that game, but I'm also not going to count out them losing it. It's going to be a test to see where they are at. If they get blown out again 66-3, it's going to be that question mark, oh, this is going to be another long year for the Sooners or for the Cowboys. But I think after the epitome of what Mike Gundy did for Oklahoma State and was just such a long tenured coach, he did so much for that program, and it got to a point where you just needed a fresh start. Yeah. Clean house, kind of similar to the Steelers situation. Not necessarily, but I think Oklahoma State is going to turn heads in the Big 12. Not saying they're going to finish top of the conference.
Yeah.
Because you have Texas Tech, BYU, Houston. But they will definitely finish better than 1-11 this year. Maybe I would say probably 8-4.
Yeah.
8-4.
I'm going to stay in the Big 10. I think
Big 10 or Big 12?
Big 10 for me.
Okay.
Because I'm going to stay in the Big 10 for my list. And I'm going to pick the USC Trojans. I think Jaden Mayava is a phenomenal quarterback, and we've seen what Lincoln Riley can do with these quarterbacks. I know he's losing Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon, but I think he is phenomenal. They just landed the number 1 draft class in 2020 of the 2025 draft class. Sorry, not draft class.
Recruiting class,
excuse me. They got top offense tackle Keeney Pepe and top D end Luke Waffle, right? No program has had more momentum like USC under Lincoln Riley. The Trojans have double-digit their next commits. They have had so many people join, and you just give Jaden Mayava the opportunity to just get under his feet and let him. He's definitely been working the offseason with Lincoln Riley.
He has.
Lincoln Riley knows how to develop these quarterbacks. Elite talent influx with the NIL plays a huge part in how USC is getting these players, and we know that we've talked about NIL before, which is a huge upside for this team at USC. And if Mayava can stabilize his quarterback play, they're a huge. I don't see them going to the Big Ten championship just because of the powerhouses like Indiana, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State. But I'd see them getting into the CFP contention with with a low like 8 to 10, right? 8 to 11.
Yeah.
Well, 11 to 12 would be Power 4, but 8 to 10. It's gonna be USC for me.
I think one thing I had a hard time putting USC here because they didn't do awful in the Big Ten, and it was hard for me. I was looking for those teams that finished at the bottom of the Big Ten that were going to climb. And USC is going to definitely be in playoff contention, like you said, but it's just so hard to find room for them atop of the conference.
Yeah.
With those 4 teams in Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, this is Mayava is really good. He's been working in the offseason. I think for me, this is Lincoln Riley's life or death year, though.
Okay.
You have to get into playoff contention if you want to start people to respect you again. Because he did that at Oklahoma. He won a couple. I want to say he won. No, he didn't. He did not win a CFP game, but they were consistently in contention for the CFP. And I think USC, he's done that. And as much NIL as they have, Lincoln Riley should be able to make do and at least get the team to compete on a consistent basis. Number 2 team for me is going to be Penn State.
Okay.
I'm staying in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Complete makeover, bringing in Matt Campbell and basically half of Iowa State's roster.
Wasn't it? I think it was like majority of the roster.
It was majority of the roster, yeah. Their toughest, they had a very favorable schedule draw.
Mm-hmm.
They have USC, Michigan, and Washington are their 3 biggest games. Toughest games in conference.
Yeah.
And USC is a good pull. Michigan's going to be tough. And Washington, it's going to be DeMond Williams is still with the team? Yes.
Where?
Washington.
Yeah,
DeMond Williams.
DeMond is still there. He's not leaving.
He's not leaving. But so Washington's going to be another interesting poll. I just think Penn State, with as bad as it was that first start to the year, they finished 12th in the Big Ten, 7-6 overall. Matt Campbell has proved himself and rebuilt that Iowa State program.
Yep.
And that's going to be one big thing to watch. Rocco Becht coming in. He fits very well within that Penn State like dog-esque kind of thing.
Yeah.
Penn State's known for having those defensive players on the edges, specifically Abdul Carter, Micah Parsons.
Deny Dennis
Sutton, thank you. So I think Penn State's going to rebuild. I'm not going to – again, same situation to USC, not going to be top of the conference, but much better than they were last year.
Yeah. All right. Here's the team where I'm not going to go with like a team who's already good. I'm going to go with the California Golden Bears.
That was my number 1 ACC team.
Yeah. Tosh Lupoi, and people know how much I love Tosh Lupoi. The day that I saw on X or Twitter, whatever you want to say, that he left Oregon, I fell to my knees. I was like,
so
sad. So sad seeing him leave, but he's the head coach for the California Golden Bears, and he's making moves. Adam Muhammad, running back out of Washington, went to California to play for Cal. They've added 34 players on the 2026 roster, 32 that came out of the portal.
They had a huge portal class. I want to say it was top 10.
Yeah. Basically a roster reset, straight overnight. They have 15 on offense, 16 on defense. And Tosh knows how to build the defense. You've seen his defense play with Oregon.
Shout out Texas Tech.
Yeah, absolutely.
The CFP game. So
They brought in
leader.
They brought in proven wide receiver production, multiple RBs with the college experience. Like I said, Adam Muhammad. One thing I will say is they have a tough roster just for the ACC. They got not even tough. Looking at this roster, I don't even think it's that tough. This is who they play. They got
schedule. You mean?
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Not roster, schedule.
Their toughest games are SMU and Clemson.
Yeah, maybe NC State could be somewhere in there. Maybe NC State pulls something.
But I also have a huge question mark on Clemson.
We always do. Always have
because Dabo cannot lose 6 games again.
No, not at all. But they play UCLA, which is another.
That's their season opener.
Which we don't know how UCLA is going to play this year.
Right.
They have the Stanford rivalry, which is Cal usually always just plays good against Stanford, and I just think. They were 7-6 last year. ACC, like we talked about, could be a Group of 5 conference just because they're so irrelevant. I think Cal finished 7th in the ACC, could make a jump. They were 4-4 in the ACC conference this year. Virginia was 7-1, SMU 6-2. They don't play Miami, which is good. They don't have to play against Miami. Yep. So they do play Pitt, who played really well this year. But I'm going to go Cal as my on the rise because of Tosh Lapoy.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. That would have been my third as well. So I'll jump to a different one that I had. Moving into the SEC, this was a toss-up between South Carolina and Florida.
Okay.
But I have South Carolina.
Yep.
Their year was abysmal. They won 1 SEC conference game.
Sorry, Braden.
They got they have a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But Shane Beamer understands the talent that he has on his roster. They have Dylan Stewart still. They also still have Lenora Sellers
and Nick Harbor. 6'5" track star receiver.
Yeah, those are 3 key guys that are going to play major roles if this team does well. Their 3 toughest games are Georgia, A&M, and Bama. They avoid Texas. They avoid Ole Miss. I really like what SC could do. They went 4-8 last year, 13th in the SEC. They are on a rise. They have the talent to do it. They will finish better than 4-8. I have confidence in that. I'll go on a limb and say they will be competing for an SEC title spot.
Okay.
Really? I'm gonna go that far and say that.
I just think it's because of the superiority of the SEC. I think they get a good bowl game. I'll give them a good bowl game. I'll give them a good bowl game.
I'll change it to that. I watch
honestly, Braden, I think that's all you want in life right now. It's just a good bowl game. For Lenora Sellers to play well, for Nick Harper to just play well on the offensive side, and for Dylan Stewart to just play phenomenal like he always does.
And I watched Any Given Saturday, that SEC documentary on Netflix for a little while, and I really liked what Shane Beamer was talking about. And it's a culture that is being rebuilt. They have Clemson on their schedule every year, and that's a good win for them. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. All right, now we're going to start diving into some teams that are on the decline. First one that sticks out for me, I kind of had these all detailed out by conference, but trying to pick one is a little bit difficult. This was a toss-up between Vanderbilt and Iowa State for me, and I think I'm going to go with Iowa State. They went 8-4 last year, kind of a medium-sized year, last year of the Matt Campbell era. Their toughest draws this year are BYU, Arizona, and Utah. They avoid Texas Tech, but Iowa State had a clean house, and it is very hard to have with your roster completely depleted. It's very hard to have a solid year, and I think this will be a down year for them for sure. Maybe in years to come, Iowa State fans, I'm sorry, maybe make a bowl, but I don't see a bright future.
Yeah.
Like you lose specifically, you lose your tight end, you lose your quarterback, you lose your head coach. There's your core right there. Iowa State will be my first faller.
Yeah. This one, I feel like the decline is a little harder because I feel like it's maybe not even harder, but just like there's a lot of teams.
It's just extreme.
Yeah, like how much of a decline is there? Like the incline can be like we talked about, getting a bowl game, getting in that CFP contention, right? So for me, a decline that I think we're gonna see just from a skill perspective is Notre Dame. Yes. Only because they're losing Jeremiah Love, who is their main production of the offense, and you know how much I love Jeremiah Love. Funny. Yeah. And they're keeping Jaden Greathouse. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure he went to the draft. I'll look it up in a second. But one thing that is hard for me is they lost their key player, and CJ Carr, I'm pretty sure is the quarterback's name, was a rookie last year, and freshman, excuse me. He played fine, but it's only if you can find his identity. That is my whole entire spiel for this whole podcast is if they can find their identity, right? And against top teams, which they rarely play until the end of the season, is if we can see if they play those top teams. Honestly, like always, their schedule is super easy. Opener to Wisconsin, then they go they're playing in BYU, which is going to be a good game. I think BYU can put it out with Kalani Sitake. I think that's a good game. Mm-hmm. They're playing against Miami. A lot of ACC teams this year and some Big Ten. But I think Notre Dame's just on the decline because of their lack of production from the run back, like we're going to see. I see honestly probably same thing as like 9-3, but only just because of the skill production.
Right. My number 2 team is going to come out of the ACC. It's going to be Virginia.
Okay.
I think Virginia had a fluke year.
You think so?
Genuinely. Just because of the way the ACC fell out. How do you finish with a 5-way tiebreaker for second?
Yeah.
And the team that won the conference championship doesn't get in to CFP. And Miami, of all teams, with 2 losses to Louisville and who else did they lose to? Crap.
Who are we talking about?
Miami. Their other SMU. Louisville and SMU beat Miami, and they were the team that got in the CFP. But Virginia went 11-3 and made it to the ACC championship game, but they lost to Duke. And their tough schedule, they have a rather tough schedule. SMU, Cal, Virginia Tech, and Duke. Virginia Tech is going to be a team that the ACC needs to look out for. They were my second as far as they went 3-9 last year, but James Franklin brought in basically his entire Penn State staff.
Yeah.
And he's going to rebuild that program like he did Penn State. Make them relevant again back to, say, the Beamer days. Mm-hmm. I just watched it. Mike Beamer, I think.
I know Shane Beamer was the coach of South Carolina. I don't know.
Yeah, it's his dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's Mike Beamer.
I think it is too. But so Virginia, I think, is going to be one to watch. It's not like they were not relevant, but I think they'll definitely be on the decline. The ACC is a group of 5, group of 6.
Yeah.
So you call it's just a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Virginia has another 11-3 season though.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have another one while I think of someone?
And
actually, I probably could go for one right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Utah.
Yep.
Is that what you were thinking too?
Not for my next one, but they were one of the 3 that I had. For
only because they lost
Kyle Whittingham.
Yep. I don't think they can lose their identity, but I think Kyle Whittingham was just a phenomenal player with coach with them. I think Devin Dampier plays phenomenally. Like obviously he's not going to leave and follow because he can't because of
Bryce Underwood
still being at Michigan. So I think they were 3rd in the Big 12, just a slow decline.
It was. I'm not going to say it's going to be fall off like
like the teams you talked about.
Yeah, it'll be a slow decline over the years. They'll lose a Holy War.
Yeah,
for years to come.
I think they lose the Holy War. I think they might. I don't think they lose to Cincinnati. It might lose to Houston.
I think they lose to Houston.
Yeah. It's home against Houston. It's in Salt Lake, but still. A home opener to Idaho, which could be good for them. Idaho's a scary FCS team.
It is.
Oregon's seen that, right? Yeah. Terrible. Holy crap. But
don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
But I think that is a good spot for them, just for a good opener. And Arkansas, a good opener. They're kind of an irrelevant SEC team. Utah State also. So they have a good 3-game stretch in the beginning to get it on their feet. But without that coach, like we talked about, the seasoned veteran of Kyle Whittingham, I think it's going to be a little rough for Devin Dampier to play.
On that Utah and that Arkansas game, I think the SEC is a baseline for how your season will go, like those non-conference. I love seeing these matchups because the SEC is like the standard for any given like Saturday football.
Yeah.
Like if you beat an SEC team, okay, we're real.
Yeah.
So if Utah can do that, I think they'll have a little bit better year, but I definitely highlighted that game. Third one for me, because I went Iowa State, Virginia. Third one for me is going to be Oklahoma.
Okay.
They were 5th in the SEC last year, 10-3. Their toughest games are Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, and Michigan. I think Michigan handles Oklahoma.
You think so?
I think they absolutely handle them. Those are 2 blue blood programs. Michigan's got the most all-time wins in the history of college football. I think Brent Venables, who is the OC, Brent Venables is the head coach.
He's the head coach, yeah.
My fault. I think he gets fired after this year.
You think so? Like even if obviously there's an incline.
If they decline, I think Brent Venables.
Which we're saying is a decline.
We're saying decline. That the imparity and the inconsistency that Oklahoma had last year is what scared me. John Mateer, like they had no offense when he wasn't there, and their defense is garbage.
No, the defense was good last year. Defense was amazing last year.
The defense was amazing last year, but the offense was garbage, which did not help the defense.
Yeah. No momentum.
And no momentum. Sorry. I totally got those mixed up. But I think Oklahoma definitely is going to be on the decline. Not like the other two teams I mentioned, but not going to have a good year.
Yeah. Now we're going to move into teams that we think are going to stay on the same level. Maybe we could see both, honestly, both of a
little decline and incline,
decline and incline.
This is family friendly, guys. We promise.
I think Texas is a big team that you can just see either way. I talked about Arch Manning when we started the podcast back up at the beginning of the year for the fall semester, and I was saying you can't expect a freshman quarterback to play good if you have all this hype around him and he goes and plays in the shoe for his first ever game, right? You can't expect him to play good. I think Arch Manning got a little better as the season went on. Sure, he played against like crappier teams, obviously, like San Jose State and
San Jose State,
Texas State. I'm pretty sure he
something like that. Yeah.
But he was slinging the ball. Like he has the arm strength. He has the arm talent.
He has a great arm
strength.
Talent.
They finished 10-3 last year, 6-2 overall in the SEC, right behind the 4 tied 7-1, 7-1, 7-1, 7-1 Ole Miss, Georgia, A&M, and Bama. So I think they have the sight of talked about it. All thing is if they can get settled in. If Arch Manning can get settled in and play the quarterback that I know, I'm actually loving Arch Manning. I wanted him to play against Ohio State when Quinn Ewers was playing. I think Arch Manning was probably a better prospect than Quinn Ewers. I loved him.
Absolutely.
His actual rookie year instead of his redshirt year.
Yeah.
So I think they could be on a slow incline. They play against Ohio State as the second game, so they play Texas State, which could be a good settle game for them.
The Texas State game and Ohio State game will be good settle-ins for Arch. Ohio State being at home specifically.
Yeah.
And then they have they avoid Bama and they avoid Georgia.
Yes,
so that's
which is huge.
That's favorable scheduling.
Huge.
Because they had to play both of them last year.
And this honestly isn't a gauntlet of the SEC, right? They go Tennessee, Oklahoma, Florida, Ole Miss, Miss State, Mizzou, LSU, Arkansas, A&M.
Yeah.
I think they lose to A&M.
I think they lose to A&M and maybe Ole Miss.
Thinking of just SEC teams, I think Ohio State's going to be a good game. We'll see how Julian Sand plays with Jeremiah Smith. Man, he's good at football. But yeah, I think Texas is on a incline, just based off how they're going to play. But I could see them just being on the same, honestly, at 6-2, 10-3.
For sure. All right. I think the other team that we kind of have to talk about as Oregon fans, this is either going to our ceiling, 12-0, our floor, 9-3.
Yeah,
realistically.
Yeah. I was talking to Tyler about this. One of my friends,
Tyler Hartman.
Yeah, you know Tyler. Yeah. And I was saying, okay, we lost in the semis, or we lost in the quarters. We lost in the semis. Now we'll lose in the championship, and then we'll win the championship, right?
Yeah.
If the trend continues, and we just keep moving up every single time, we'll lose the championship. And I'll say no. We'll probably lose a semifinal game or a championship game.
I got a fat bet with my roommate Grady.
Really?
Yeah. That Oregon would win a national championship within the next 2 years.
You should say Oregon win a natty before the Niners win a Super Bowl.
I should. Okay, Grady.
Hey.
Grady, here we go. Oregon will win a national championship before the Niners win their next Super Bowl in the next 50 years.
Yeah.
The Niners will not win another Super Bowl.
Seahawks own them frauds.
Okay.
Lumen South.
Yeah.
Lumen
South.
I think Oregon is just another team. We got Dante Moore coming back.
DeCorian Moore,
obviously, and D.R. Hill and Jordan Davison.
No.
Jordan Davison's gone.
Jordan Davison went to Washington.
No, that was Jalen Lamar.
Jalen Lamar. Thank you. Sorry.
Both the rookie running backs came back. There's no way they left.
Yeah.
D.R. Hill and Jordan Davison both came back.
Thank you for your service, Noah Whittington.
Oh, absolutely.
Stayed with the program for 3 years and sat behind guys like Bucky Irving,
Jordan
James, like that.
Yeah.
Sat behind them. He got his chance and he played extremely well for the Ducks.
And now it's D.R. Hill and Jordan Davison's turn.
Yep.
Jeremiah McClellan is staying.
Jeremiah McClellan is a stud.
Did you see
that catch was nuts.
Yeah, just like the Washington catch where he pinned it against his head.
And we have the guy that just came back from his mission, who we recruited in.
Was it?
He's a 5-star.
Was it Gatlin Bear? No. I know who you're talking about though.
But He was a 5-star. Anyway, the offensive pieces are still there. We get Gary Bryant back.
Mm-hmm.
This year, he basically was out the whole year with his knee injury, torn meniscus, I think. So that's going to be another huge piece. The offensive line is going to be even better. Defense, Tuioti is still there.
And
Bear Alexander.
It was Gatlin Blair.
Blair, yeah.
Gatlin Bear. He's a track star. Speedy, like Nick Harbor, but Nick Harbor's obviously a little bigger.
Yeah.
But it's same speed and lengthy guy that we can get on the outside with DeCorian Moore and Jalen McClellan. But yeah, defensive side, I'm pretty sure everyone's back.
Basically everyone except Bryce and Dylan Thieneman are back.
Yeah, but Bear, Alexander, whole D-line's back.
Whole D-line is back.
Is Devin Jackson still there? I'm pretty sure Devin Jackson.
I think so. Mateo Uyunglele is still back.
MTU.
Tatum Tuioti returns. I really like what the Oregon defense looks like. It's going to be an interesting season,
especially without
no Will Stein.
Yeah,
praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
No Will Stein.
Hallelujah. But did we? I can't remember if we hired within.
We promoted within the organization.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the assistant DC is who we promoted to the DC. He's been with the program since before Dan Lanning.
Cool. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Dan's the man, and we know this. People who say we should fire Dan Lanning don't understand what's going on. The only teams we've lost to in 1,000 days are
Georgia?
Washington. Oh, I think that's before that. Because just days wise.
1,000 days.
Sure.
Washington.
Sure. In the Dan Lanning era, the teams that we've lost to.
Washington.
I'll include Georgia because we did lose to them, but sure. Washington twice. Nope. Was it 3 times?
Twice.
Washington
twice.
Ohio State.
Oregon
Indiana.
State. We lost to Oregon State one time.
Did we lose to Oregon State?
Yes, in the Civil War. In 22, his first year.
Oh, you're right.
Because 22 was...
Okay.
We had... was Bo's first year.
Yes.
And we lost.
That was when it was rough.
That was a rough year for us.
Just because Dan was getting smooth.
It was his first year.
23, 24, and 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Count out 22, just for the sake of me sounding smart right here. We lost to Washington, Indiana, and Ohio State. Natty champs, right? So I think we're fine. If I don't even think if we see the same production, at what point do you say we're done with Dan when you see the same production over and over again?
When we don't make the Big Ten title game.
Is that
let's
say we go 3 years in a row after this.
3 years in a row
of losing in the CFP playoffs.
I'm gonna go 5.
You think 5?
If we go 5 consecutive years and we lose in the CFP,
like semifinals,
quarters or worse.
Okay.
Quarters or worse. 5 consecutive years, quarters or worse. Fire him,
dude. I think it would. I think maybe 3, honestly, because I've seen it 3 times now, right? We lost to Washington to not go.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Ohio State, and then we lost to Indiana.
But the progress has been made in each of those
years.
I
guess if I see progress next year, and then and it stays where we're at, I think we'll be fine. But if we see no progress for a couple years, counting no progress starting now.
Yeah.
If we see no progress starting out for a couple years, I think there'll be change to be made. But right now, as an Oregon fan, honestly, sitting pretty. I'm fine.
As much as I hated, I was really frustrated with the way that the semifinal game went. Just because of our defense played so well against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And I was very confident going in against Indiana.
Didn't help.
Then they absolutely dismantled us.
Yeah.
Like that, my mental health was at an all-time low.
Yeah. My friends were over, so I was able just to chill and eat pizza with them. Thanks, Braden and Ashton, for making me feel better. But, it was rough. It was a rough time for Baggin.
No, I was playing Kadon at the same time, and I kept throwing my pieces at the projector. I'm like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
But I was very frustrated, but looking back on it, like, Indiana deserved that national championship.
Absolutely.
By far. Like, ran through Alabama, ran through us, and then almost ran.
Leisurely jogged through
Miami. Yeah. So, it's definitely on a trend for sure. I'm not mad. But it's never been a better time to be an Oregon fan because there are promising things coming.
Because we got that Phil Knight money.
We have the Phil Knight money.
I'm gonna say it. Shut up. We got the Phil Knight money.
Phil Knight money. And yes, Austin, money wins championships.
Ohio State.
I understand Nebraska doesn't spend any of their football money. Nobody does. If they did, they would have kept Dylan Raiola. Like, there we go. Cat's out of the bag.
That'll do it for our who's on the rise, who's on the fall, and who's staying content. Excuse me. I'm gonna pray. Whoa. And we're going to get us on out of here and have a good rest of our week. bow your heads and fold your hands and close your eyes. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity. Lord, we just thank you every single time to have this opportunity to come be on this platform and just speak freely about what we love and just being able to pray, Lord. I know that we take that for granted, being able to just pray freely without any consequences. We can just pray to you and share your gospel no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing. I pray that through any part of our actions throughout the day, like our gospel can be shown through our actions, no matter what we're doing. I pray that we shine the light of you in Matthew 5:16 to shine the light to other people. And I pray that through our podcast and through the way that we act around the school, around our work, around any time we're doing, that people can come to find you through us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Later, y'all.
Later.